What's up everyone? How's it going, guys? I'm about to move home to my parents' house, but the kitchen is full of food and I don't want to have to take it all. So I'm basically like making a meal plan for myself. What do I really need to eat? What should I make to use up the things that I have in here?
So this video is partially a continuation of the pantry clean out. Some of the things that I planned to make while cleaning out the pantry but didn't end up having time to make for that video, we're making them for this video. But then also there's a lot of things that I plan to make from looking at my freezer, because my freezer is just as much a problem as the pantry. It was very much stocked full to the brim with random shit that I wanted to get rid of. That's where we are today.
And then I have this pasta sauce, thick and chunky. I have these pesto things in the freezer that were like leftovers from the pesto wreath. I could dip them in this sauce and then use the rest for just pasta or pizza even, because yeah, I wouldn't need that much of the sauce to use for the pesto things.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say pastry wreath, I made a pesto pastry wreath in a recent Christmassy video, and it was just a wreath of puff pastry filled with pesto, and I had extra of both those things. So I made random shapes of puff pastry filled with pesto and put them in the freezer so that I would someday bake them and have a good time, and dipped them in tomato sauce, and it was an amazing appetizer.
Oh my god. No, this is a problem. RR. You do that blush pasta thing with the tofu. What am I pointing at? There's no tofu up there. But I could get some silken tofu and make a blush pasta.
Alright, so here I'm making that pasta. And I don't know if it's proper to call it a blush pasta. I didn't know that was like actually a thing. But I had just seen like TikToks and stuff of people being like, blend your tofu with your red sauce and you have a blush pasta. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. And I also added some broccoli stalks that I peeled and cut up to add in there, because I didn't have a lot of veggies and I wanted to use these broccoli stalks. So I was like, you know what? Throw them in there. I threw in some garlic, a little bit of onion, and I also had this little bag of Italian seasoning from my parents accidentally receiving someone's HelloFresh order that they never claimed. So I put a little bit of that in there to use it and blended it up. And it was very garlicky when I tried it, so I was a little bit shooketh. Oh, takes me back to what year? I don't know, 2020. Anyways, yeah, so I decided to pour all of the sauce into the pot, which was a little bit of a mistake, because as it started to cook, it was doing that thing where it bubbles up and spurts liquid everywhere, and I was getting really scared and didn't know what to do. So I ended up eventually, because I wanted to cook it, because it had like raw onion and stuff in it, so I wanted to cook it, right? Like cook it down a little bit. That seemed necessary, but it was just going crazy at me, so I took half of it out for another dinner later on, and then because it was a lot of sauce, like I didn't have that many noodles, and the way that those noodles just plop in there is fascinating to me. Anyways, I really love these noodles from Trader Joe's. They're so fun, and that's the whole dinner. I put some spinach in there, or like a spinach kale mix of some sort. Dinner. And then since I had that other half of sauce, just cooked that with pasta a different day. Another easy dinner.
But now I want to take a quick break from the food and talk about the sponsor of today's video. I absolutely, with a passion, hate traditional bras. But like when I was growing up, when I was like in high school and stuff, there was not really a lot of options. There was like traditional bras with like the cups and underwire and stuff, and then there was like sports bras, and there like wasn't really much in between. But then one day I found Parade, and they very quickly became my whole underwear and bra drawer, and I don't feel any need to ever look anywhere else. Such a variety of comfortable, functional items with good coverage that are still like cute, fun, sexy, whatever you're going for. Right now, my new favorite product is the Luxe Mesh Scoop Bralette. I'm actually wearing one right now in a different color. It is just like the best everyday bra, and it's this silky mesh that is absolutely my favorite. Looks like, feels like nothing nothing under your clothes, but it still gives good coverage and everything stays where it needs to stay, you know? Another thing I love about Parade is that they make products with sustainability in mind. So for example, their soft lace material, which is so cute, there's like stars and stuff, is actually made from rescued material typically wasted in production. I love that Parade's prices are affordable, but you can even get an additional 50% off by going to yourparade.com/ME50 and using the code ME50 at checkout if you wish to upgrade your bra/underwear collection. Thank you to Parade for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it, and let's get back to the rest of it. Also, I initially bought this for my childhood eats video, and I made cereal milk coffee with this, and that was delicious. So I could even save some of my cereal milk and do that again.
So while I was eating my cereal throughout the week, I never actually felt like saving the milk from it. But then the last bowl, I was like, you know, there's all these little crumbs at the end. Like, why don't I at least just try to make it with this? It can't make it worse, right? It might not taste that cereal-y, but no, it was perfect cereal milk. All you need is little crumbs at the end of the bag. And I just left it in there for like an hour in the fridge. You probably don't even need it that long, but you know, I don't know. And strained it into my coffee, and it was absolutely delicious, especially because of that cinnamon cereal, because it's like cinnamon and sugar in the bottom. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I didn't add any sweetener at first because I didn't know how sweet it was going to be already. I did end up adding a little bit of maple syrup, but it was absolutely positively perfect. Okay, and now we're moving on to the freezer stuff, starting with a bag of frozen peach scraps and pits. Very lovely. Months ago, my mom had like a bunch of peaches for some reason, and she like wanted to give me some, but they were already soft, so she was gonna cut them all up and freeze them or something. And I was like, while you're cutting them all up, why don't you save me the peels and stuff, and I'll make like a little syrup out of it. And then she did that for me, and I never made the syrup because I'm stupid. But here I'm finally making the syrup, and I'm straining it twice just because I don't know. That seemed like something to do. And as I was straining it out, there was like some thick peach puree stuff on the strainer. I don't know. Anyways, I saved that stuff, and I made some peach chia pudding with it, which was absolutely wonderful and scrumptious. But I will say I made my peach syrup overly watery. It was very good, but I definitely added too much water. I don't know why, like I added the 1-to-1 and then I added more water for some reason. Like I think I needed to cover the peach stuff, but I really didn't. Also, I think the peaches might have like let out some liquid themselves into the syrup. So it was just watered down. But I've mostly just used it for green tea, like making iced green teas, a little peach green tea. So if you just make the green tea more concentrated, then the watered down syrup doesn't hurt it so much. You know what I mean? Next time, I know that now. You gotta add less water. Or cook it down, at least.
Macaroni. I didn't even know we had this.
So no one would be surprised to find out that I used the macaroni for soup, making a big soup. This is a very, very clean out the fridge and freezer soup. Starting off, we have some leftover onion going in. Not a lot of onion because, well, you'll see. And then also I found this wrinkly carrot in the back of the fridge that was like partially frozen, because you know, like when the back of the top of the fridge like freezes things. I don't know if anyone knows, but in my house it does. And also I had some frozen zucchini, that I wasn't going to use in time, so I cut it all up and put it in the freezer using some of that. And then also from my Fiona and Cake video months ago, I made a beans and cabbage soup that was delicious, but also some tomato paste. That's also from the HelloFresh order that my parents weren't supposed to receive but received going in. Yeah, I made a beans and cabbage soup, and it was delicious, but it did wreck my stomach for the night. So I was like, I am not gonna eat this again. But it was good, so I'm gonna freeze it. And I froze it in 2 portions, and I made 2 separate soups with that. So this is what this is. So yeah, I just let that melt in there. And then I also had a little bit of tofu in the fridge to use up, so threw that in there. And then once it started all boiling, I put in the macaroni. I ended up deciding to just put the whole bag in there because why not? It's just some macaroni. Gotta finish stuff. Since we're starting off with like a already made soup in there, I didn't know how much like bouillon and stuff and seasonings to add, so I wanted to get it a little bit started and give it a taste. And then I started adding some bouillon and seasonings and stuff. I also added the last of a bag of frozen peas and also the last of this container of frozen spinach that I really wanted to get rid of. And yeah, that's the soup. It's definitely not the most aesthetic soup for sure, and the zucchini just kind of became like a mushy little ugly thing, but it was good. It was a good soup. And now we're making a smoothie, starting off with some oats. You know I love to put oats in my smoothies. I'm also putting a little bit of tahini in here. I always like to put a nut butter, usually peanut butter, but for smoothies like this, I tend to feel like that's wrong and I want to put tahini. I don't know why. But anyways, I put some hemp seeds, also some frozen banana, and then these are the peaches that I was talking about, my mom cutting up and freezing for me, and also this mango. But both of these things, you know when you have fruit in the freezer, like leftover fruit from something, but it all freezes into like a big block, so you just never want to use it because using it requires you to like let it sit out and then like break it apart, you know. So we're doing that today. I put a bunch of the peaches, I put a bunch of the, I had some frozen mango, did I say that? Leftover mango. A bunch of greens, some oat milk, some water, and we're gonna blend it. And then I tried it and it wasn't that good. I mean, it was fine, but it could be a lot sweeter and fruitier, so I added all the rest of the mango and a little bit more of the peaches. I was making a little for Casey also, so I wanted to make a lot. I'm filming on my phone because I already packed away some of my camera stuff. Finally gonna try this soursop juice. It's been in there for so long and I'm like, why is it taking me so long to just drink a juice? But it's because I love my drinkities, you know, but I never just drink like juice. When I want to drink, it's either gonna be water, coffee, or tea. So anyways, I do have some tea. Hello? Tea? Slightly concentrated green tea here in case I wish to make a green tea beverage with this, which I'm assuming I will. Yeah, I don't know, I have no excitement for just juice. I thought it would be like overly sweet, but it's not. It's like pleasantly, ooh, this is gonna go so perfect with tea. It kind of reminds me of guava. I don't know if it's because of the pulp, but it kind of has like a nectar kind of vibe, like it's like thick. It's like I'm pouring syrup, like corn syrup. That's a little bit disturbing. Okay, perfectly measured. I meant for this to happen. I actually don't see any pulp at all. Very pleasant. Very pleasant indeed. Is all the pulp like at the bottom or something? Was I supposed to shake this? Yeah. I don't know, shaking a can just feels so wrong, so I don't do it. Ooh. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Maybe not shaking it was the way, because I don't really like pulp. Way to do that. Okay, also, I finally have one of these stand-up stasher bags so I can make popcorn now. Like, all I wanted for Christmas basically was just a new microphone, new headphones, and stasher bags. I'm gonna test it out and use up this last small bit of popcorn. Is this too much? I don't know. I'm just gonna do it all. Who cares? And then I'm gonna put some butter. It said a tablespoon for a half cup, so I'm gonna do a half tablespoon, but a little more. Just cause you're not gonna have too much butter. I put some butter in there. Let's hope it was a good amount. And then some salt. I don't know. But I realized I left it like open in there. Uh-oh, I'm scared. It's filling up fast. Popcorn!
Popcorn! Get that corn on my face. Oh my gosh. How fun is that? I will so do this more often because I have had that little bit of popcorn in there for so long because I'm just like, ugh, it's not worth it to make like just a small amount of popcorn like on the stove for me. Plus like I always end up burning it somehow, and none came out. I was scared they would come out. Oh, there's a lot of unpopped, but I mean, I just got scared because I didn't want it to like overflow. I feel like I want to pour it out because the butter or the salt's probably not mixed through. Yeah, that has like nothing on it. Where's the butter? Where's the butter? But it's like perfect popcorn. The lower ones are better. I just need to put more butter for sure. Also, this is just really cute. Like, you can't see, but imagine, like, this is my clutch bag. It feels like my steam cord for some reason.
And now I'm just filling up some jars because I was thinking like I have way too many jars, but I don't really want to get rid of too many of them. And then I have a lot of like pantry stuff that I'm gonna have to take to my parents' house. So I was like, instead of taking empty jars, they might as well be filled up. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna take this food over there and I'm also gonna take the jars over there, I could fill up the jars with the food. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed or relaxed with me today. I hope you eat something good today, and if you wish to, you can support me on Patreon. Thank you to all my patrons on the Patreon, and also my members on YouTube. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you will stick around for more videos in the future. Subscribe and click on that bell for notifications, and like the video if you want to like it because it helps me. Leave a comment. There's nothing else to do. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and goodbye.